Hey everybody, Mark here with North of the Wall Garage. We've finally done it. I took delivery of the 2024 GX550 Overtrail Plus behind me, put money on it last June, so it was almost like a 10-month wait. And per my dealer, at least in the central western New York area, I'm the first one with the GX550, so it's kind of cool. One of one rolling around right now. Obviously that's going to change a lot in the upcoming months, but it's been a very fun week. I've had it for just about a week now and really excited to tell you all about it. So if you watched my GX460 video, gosh, almost a year ago, I went through our decision to ultimately place an order for the GX550 at the time, threw money down right after the announcement, and why we were going to sell our GX460. We loved the 460. It was a great car, incredibly reliable. Had it for just about 4 years, beyond 4 years. And, but you know, obviously being a car guy, it was our newest car. It was a 2016, and the other cars in the stable are the 2007 BMW M6, which is a summer car, and I also have a Mercedes E320 CDI, which is the 2006, and that one's currently on loan with a friend in Maryland for the summer. So just down to 2 cars for the summer. The GX550 got here last week. It was basically fully optioned over a Trail Plus, so the MSRP after some port installed accessories was about $84,000. Yes, a lot of money, but so far I think it's worth it. I've been around quite a few cars in my day. Recently spent time with a Defender in California, and I like this much better, and this is a comparable vehicle absolutely to that Land Rover Defender. So if you watch this video, you're probably familiar with the specs, so I won't bore you with those. I think the biggest thing I would like to address initially is, you know, there's been some criticisms about the interior being relatively Spartan. And, you know, for what it's worth, I think that's somewhat true. Yes, it's a pretty plain interior, but that's the whole point of this car. I think this car is a mix of utilitarian design and understated luxury. So yeah, you're not gonna have the leather wrap dash like my M6 does or your Range Rover or whatever. And yeah, you're not gonna have air ride, you know, in terms of the suspension. That's not an option on this car. It's just conventional springs. So this really, despite having a few luxury trims and despite this, you know, obviously having a luxury type price tag, this really feels like to me a utilitarian toy. So it can kind of do everything right. Obviously it does the daily stuff with the family and all those things, but it could also take you on adventures. And I think that's what's so appealing to me. It's a very good looking vehicle, and we do these beach vacations, you know, down on the East Coast where we drive on the sand. You know, not that you need something as intense as this to do that. But we do have an area of also extremely deep snow, and we've been getting more aggressive snowstorms over the years. So it's nice to know that there's something that can just like truck through anything and is incredibly solidly built. And again, just touching back in the interior, it really does remind me of the Defender. I had a Defender out in California, and the interior was, again, quite Spartan, just like this, really just all black. And I know Defenders, you can option them out pretty well in terms of the inside, but still it's really quite similar to this. So I wasn't buying this car really as a luxury first car. Like I said, I was buying it as a sort of do-all car, even down to the towing ability, whether it's, you know, friends' boats or I plow my own driveway with a reverse mounted plow. So even that for me is a really great option, and I needed to have that hitch on the back. So just a few additional comments. This is just really a quick introductory video. We're gonna do a lot more with this car. I'm gonna give you kind of ownership updates, maintenance updates, all those things, as we're one of the first people with one, and I think it's helpful for the community to know, you know, how these cars are going so far and how the production is, and, you know, if there's any issues or any quirks that we find out in the process of our ownership. And so really quickly, I think one of the things that's interesting to note with the GX550, especially the Overtrail Plus, which obviously is the bigger tires, a bit lifted, is the difference between my GX460, the ride, and sort of the driving experience versus the GX550. The power increase is absolutely noticeable and very appreciated. The 460 was a bit of a dog. Again, loved the V8, just like everyone, but the reality is when we do those long road trips going up and downhill and I-79, West Virginia, it's miserable. So it's nice to be able to do that type of work with a bit more power and be able to handle the uphill, downhill, you know, very smoothly and without really working the engine too much harder. The other thing that I think is really worth noting versus the 460 now with the 550 is you feel the lift on this thing. Like you feel you're much higher up, especially with the rake of the windshield. It's a much more boxy and upright car versus the 460. So even though in the 460 I had bigger tires on there, it wasn't like a full off-road build or anything. There wasn't a lift. Again, you can look at those previous videos. But it had the bigger tire, bigger sidewall, so it was a bit higher up. This, you feel higher up. You know you're higher up. And as a result, I would say versus my 460, there is a bit more body roll on this. Can't say I expected that, but I also don't really mind it. It's a boxy off-road truck, so that's not, I didn't buy a Cayenne or an X5 or something. I'm not really expecting this to be like glued to the road like a performance car. But in terms of driving dynamics and characteristics, it's definitely much sharper than the GX. So yeah, you have the more GX460. You have more body roll and whatnot, but you also have something that's, I just think a bit sharper, better brakes, again, more power, more torque. The transmission is sharper, it shifts faster. It's a much newer car than the old 460 platform, which really originated around 2008. So short and sweet today, just wanted to inform everyone that we got the car back. Or I should say we got the car after all that time. We were really excited to have this order in, and it was a long wait, but really, truly, after this full week, it's worth it. A couple quirks I can't wait to tell you about, things that I haven't heard in any other reviews, things that, having the car seat in there that we've kind of found out. But overall, just incredibly thrilled with this car, really enjoying it thus far, and excited to share the whole journey with you. So as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of your views and all the comments. If you want to see more GX550 content, please like and subscribe. We're going to have a lot more videos coming out, especially this week, and upcoming at big milestone ownership points for us. So going to try and keep that content flowing. And of course, as the weather gets better here in New York, we'll do more sports car stuff. Of course, we love that. We love going fast and making cool noises. So that's on the way as well. But thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate it. Please like and subscribe if you have the time, and looking forward to the next one.